Just like Thursday, the boat in trouble. This time, Nomura was able to wriggle off the hook with 1:30 to go, and now they hold a favored position.
We're not going to have it. They called to each other tonight.
Game here is to get up to full speed. KR makes his move first, and he'll be going faster when the gun goes off.
Go down below the line. 20. 17. 14. 13. 4, 3, 2, 1, gun.
Another clean start and another good job by Dellenbaugh.
I need to. Wow. I need to add myself back to the stage. Yeah, okay. So, hi. Good evening. Oh, no. I got myself echoing. Yeah. So, this is sort of an invitation to folks who like to call into shows like Takis, and inspired by a call that came in to Takis today. Katie Montgomery and Aaron Reed, both wonderful people, were hosting the show. I don't know why nobody calls in on the subject of trans women in sport when an actual trans woman who's been in sport and being an out trans woman for 25 years isn't on the show. But it seems like that's the way it rolls. And I just, every single time, as some of you may notice, I do mod on that channel. And every single time, it's like it's the same arguments over and over and over again. Well, I just think men are stronger than women. I just think blah, 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 blah. It's like, I would love for people to actually, if they care about women in sport, if they care about women's sports, to examine the issues about women's sports, to examine the issues about what sports have done and would like to do to accommodate trans people in sport. I would like for people who are so concerned about this issue, which nobody really even cared about for most of my time as a trans woman in sport. Nobody even cared. To examine the history of the whole of the way sports have dealt with our participation over the course of the last 25 years and previously. And I would also like people to examine the way people have thought about women's sport generally. And I go back to the founding of the modern Olympic movement. I mean, women weren't supposed to participate in sport at all. Cis, trans, whatever, didn't matter. And think about how that stuff matters. I threw some links in there, and and the title of this stream is "Speak to Me About Estrogen and Speed." It's it's like, "Speak to me of heroin and speed." It's a PJ Harvey song. That's kind of a it's kind of cool because the Horse Hustlers and the Hustlers Whore is the name of the song, and damn it, that's all this is. It's whoring for political ideologies. It's whoring for a bunch of garbage. And people are making coin over this stuff when really people's lives are kind of in the balance. I'm literally, my, I make my living as a sailor. Right? I don't know if anybody cares. And I don't really know as anybody even notices. I prefer it if it was as it was 25 years ago when nobody really cared. It's like, oh yeah, okay, this is a thing, and you load all of this on the back of people load all of this on the backs of trans people, and we're always the anomalies when we really shouldn't be. It's like we're just people. And I have this channel has 196 subscribers at the moment. It does not have the audience that certain folks, many folks in the community have, who will be trans allies up to this point. At which point we're thrown under the bus. You're a woman until you are a sportswoman. And at that point, you're just not. The links I put in the chat or the links I put in the description of this video are by no means all inclusive or even not even not particularly recent. Some of them. I mean, the CCS study is fairly recent, and that's cool. But nobody really cares. The people that call into TACUS or call into anywhere, or even engage in thoughtful discussions and prepared stuff on this issue, don't confront the research, the experience of they don't confront the research foursquare, and they certainly don't confront the reality of real people engaged in this engaged in this forum or engaged on the pitch, or engaged on the course, or engaged on the field. We're real. We're not many. There aren't many of us. And we're not seen. And we're not heard. And that's an aspect that I think that um, allies should kind of think about. Why not? Why is that? You want to talk about us, but you don't want to talk to us, do you? You want to have a big old conversation about sport on the elite level. Okay, fine. Let's do that. 2004, 2020. That's when trans people were eligible to compete in both world athletics and the Olympic Games. And in that time, exactly one person qualified for an Olympic team, went to the Olympics, and in the competition, didn't make the qualifying weight in the first round. Didn't make the heat, couldn't compete for medal stuff. I mean, y'all can go back and see everything that Carly Chardonnay Webb and I talked about for an hour and 2 hours and change on this topic. And talk till you're blue in the face and nobody really cares. And the caller today on a transatlantic calling show, speaking to Katie and Aaron Reed, wonderful show. Please do look at that. I'll link it in the description afterwards. This fella calling from the Ukraine, a country at war, and this is what he's gonna spend his spare time doing, calling it about trans women in sport. Really? Seriously? Is that where you're going, mate? That's really the thing that we need to protect. What? Allies. Couch potatoes. All you folks who really think this is a huge issue that really matters in any way, shape, or form to anybody but us, competitors, women in sport, not sitting on the couch, but actually engaged in sport. If you really care to investigate the issue, investigate the issue and stop pulling crap out of your asses. I think we all have a huge store of crap in our rectums. But there are actual studies, actual stuff. Not enough. But you're feeling that men are superior athletically to women across the board is okay. You might need to consider in what events, etc., and so forth. And as a general rule, maybe you'd agree. Maybe there's general agreement in that regard. But what you're not asking is the question, are trans women under the conditions imposed by athletic bodies with regard to their changing their biology to be closer to that of cis women? How do they compare? That's the question. And you don't ask that question, do you? You don't look at the facts, do you? You don't look at what HRT does to a person's biology, do you? Because you don't really care about fairness, about advantages. You make a priori assumptions about biology that's not rooted in the science of biology. And maybe you could take a look at that and get back to me on that. And speak to me about estrogen and speed. And maybe speak to me about what it's like and what it has been like to be a trans woman in sport, and how it is to be relating to trans issues and sport. Get back to me on that. Okay? Good night, everybody.